Hi, Timmy.
You having a nice laugh, are you?
I mean, it's Christmas. It's Christmas morning.
Hey!
I love the way it makes me feel inside.
What's up, everyone? Adam from FWCI. This is Venom: The Last Dance pitch meeting. I can't wait for this one because I've already seen Venom: The Last Dance. I went and saw it like the second day it was out, and I gotta say, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it for what it was. Did it have the comedic, legendary status that Thor Ragnarok has? No. Did it have the superhero drama that Captain America: The Winter Soldier had? Also no. But something that this movie did that I don't think is very appreciated is it really gave us a relationship between Eddie and Venom. And I know a lot of people, they prefer the violence, they prefer the carnage and everything that comes along with it. But when I think of Venom now, I think of the duality between Eddie and Venom working together. And the fact that this movie series kind of leaned on the relationship between the two of them more so than the action, I think that's why Tom Hardy was chosen to be in this role, because he's got acting chops. He can have these emotional exchanges and he can convey a lot of emotion from both sides of the character, because he does Venom's voice as well. And to be honest, when the first Venom movie came out, I was fairly indifferent to the character. I knew of Venom, I knew what he was all about, and he looked very cool and everything like that, but never looked into Venom, didn't really seek anything out about the character. Was like, kind of like, when people were complaining about the first one, when it got changed from an R rating to like G or PG or whatever it was, I really didn't get that invested in the outrage of that, because I was just like, oh, whatever, like, we'll see what the movie's like. And I really enjoyed the first one. I think it was definitely the best of the three. And more importantly than that, my partner enjoyed the first one, because she loves Tom Hardy, and now she loves Venom. So we went and saw all three of these movies. As soon as they came out, we were anticipating them, we enjoyed ourselves. She loves how goofy the character is, and I can understand that people out there might see Venom and go, I don't know, I don't want quirk with my Venom, I want serious, emotional turmoil and carnage. In fact, speaking of carnage, I went and picked up just the other day, I got him on a bit of a flight stand right here, the Carnage figure from Marvel Legends from the movie Carnage. So I got cartoon Carnage, and now I've got, I guess, Woody Harrelson Carnage. Pretty happy with this one here, but who's he gonna fight? He's gonna go against the brand new Venom with a whole bunch of extra heads. Look at that comic book cover level pose right there. And also making his action figure debut, you know him as the King of the Symbiotes. Make some noise for Null! Picked up Null, like, months ago. He comes with a Venom with giant wings, which I thought we were going to get in this movie at one point, and we didn't. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know a great deal about Null, and even after watching this movie, I still don't know a great deal about him. He's the King of the Symbiotes, or something. But let's see what Ryan George has to say about this one. This is Venom: The Last Dance.
So, you have a new Venom movie for me? Yes, sir, I do. Somehow we made it to 3.
We did it!
Yeah.
So what are we gonna do with that whole Venom has visited the MCU post-credit scene we did?
Nothing. We go back to the Sonyverse and Venom says he hates multiverses.
Okay, well, we dipped our toes in. That was exciting.
Technically, we're part of the MCU now.
Technically, we are, so fans can...
Technically, yes, that's right. But didn't Venom leave a little bit of symbiote, you know, scraps in Earth 616, which I think is the MCU universe now? I think that's what happened. Isn't that what happened?
Kind of imagine a world where Spider-Man and Venom would have interacted, potentially.
That's what people are paying us for, sir.
For some reason, yes, they seem to be.
So we're gonna meet the bad guy of this movie, this guy Null, who created the symbiotes, and he's trapped.
You know what, just to quickly address that, yeah, the Sonyverse is a bit of a joke, overall. Like, let's be honest, like, Morbius was terrible. Please go and watch my reaction to Morbius. Nobody watched it. And I spent the entire movie waiting for him to go, it's Morbin time, because I thought that's what he says in the movie, and he never fucking says it. In the after credits, he's looking at his watch. I'm like, oh, surely this is it. Nope. Craven, I mean, I'll reserve judgment until it comes out. Maybe it'll change the landscape of movies as we know it. We don't know yet. But it looks pretty, yeah. Madam Web, I mean, less said the better. And like I said earlier, these Venom movies are not lighting the world on fire, but they brought joy to me personally, so I'm fine with them.
trapped in a space prison.
Oh, and what kind of cool stuff's he gonna do in the movie?
Nothing really, because he's trapped in a space prison.
Right, you did just say that.
But because Venom saved Eddie's life, that created something called a codex, which Null can use to escape from space prison and do evil things, potentially, because of the codex thing.
That's strangely specific.
Yeah, I can write whatever I want here, and people have no choice but to accept it.
Oh, neat.
So in this movie, when
I mean, isn't that like every crazy, weird sci-fi superhero the face I just paused on? Isn't that the same with all of those kind of like movies? There's always some kind of inexplicably specific scientific or cosmic reason for the movie to happen. I think that's fun.
whenever Eddie and Venom transform fully, they can be tracked by this scary monster that Null sent after them.
So the premise is that we can't really see full-on Venom much in this full-on Venom movie? Precisely. I guess that's what people want to see.
Anyway, so at the same time, Eddie's on the run because he's a murder suspect because of the last movie. He's being chased by this military guy, Strickland.
Fucking Mordo, what is he doing there?
Go for it to play the military guy. The guy who played Baron Mordo in Doctor Strange?
Yeah, that way people will see him in the trailers and be like, wait, is this all connected multiversally?
And then when they watch the movie, they'll be like, oh no, it isn't. It's not that.
But by then, we already have their money.
Smart.
Oh man, that's brutally honest and incredibly true. As soon as he walked in, I was like, is this a Mordo variant who works for the military? What is going on here?
So anyway, after being chased by an alien monster in the military a bit, Eddie's gonna hitchhike with this family.
And what's their deal?
Well, they're kind of weird, and the dad is bringing his family to see Area 51 before it gets shut down.
We should get Reese fans to play the dad.
The guy who played the Lizard in The Amazing Spider-Man and Spider-Man No Way Home.
That's right.
We had Venom in a post-credit scene of that movie.
That's where I fucking recognize that guy from. And you know what? It is a variant. That's the same guy in this universe. Something happened early in his life and he had to change his name. Infinite possibilities. You can write in any bullshit you want and then be like, yeah, it is actually the same guy, but in this one, he's a UFO conspiracy subscribing hippie.
That's right. We had Venom in a post-credit scene of that movie.
That's right.
So why would we? I just explained to you why.
Fair enough. Okay, let's trick these suckers. Acting like you're about to do something fun and then not doing it is good.
Oh.
So what else happens?
Well, it just so happens that a bunch of symbiotes are being kept at Area 51.
Why did you subvert my expectations with that line, Ryan George? What was that all about? Are you just gonna drop a random good instead of tight in one of these videos?
Oh wow, what are the odds of Eddie accidentally heading that way?
I told you I can write whatever I want.
Crazy.
So after spending kind of a weird amount of time road tripping with his family, Eddie's gonna get dropped off in Vegas.
Las Vegas?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Wow.
And who does he run into there but Mrs. Chen,
The woman who runs the local convenience store near his place in
Yes.
San Francisco?
Yeah, finds her at a slot machine at the first casino he walks into.
Well, you really can write whatever you want, huh?
I sure can, sir. So they're gonna...
Alright, hear me out. Mrs. Chen appearing in the casino, I think it's fine because if you were living in San Francisco and you wanted to do some gambling, you'd probably go to Vegas. Let's just put that out there. It's not like it's surprising to see anybody at a slot machine in Las Vegas. But I will agree that it is a remarkable coincidence.
casino he walks into.
Well, you really can write whatever you want, huh?
I sure can, sir. So they're gonna completely transform into Venom so they can do a fun dance with her, set to ABBA.
Oh, do they not know that when they fully transform, it attracts the deadly monster?
No, they know.
So why would they do that?
Well, at this point in the movie, I want the monster to find them, so they're just gonna do it.
Fair enough.
And the military people are gonna show up too, and actually...
Yeah, that was probably the one part of this movie that really stuck out to me as really making no sense. And it was coupled with the absurdity of Venom and Mrs. Chow dancing together. We never really established that Venom was much of a dancer, did we? Maybe there was a line here or there, but it seems unusual that he would go from being absolutely goddamn terrified of these things to just getting caught up in the rhythm. So I will definitely say that that particular beat of the movie, that was a little bit too corny.
actually split Venom from Eddie and bring them to Area 51.
Oh no.
And they're gonna find out that the only way to destroy the codex and save the world is if one of them dies.
Oh. Kind of seems like a no-brainer that they should sacrifice one of them.
No. Everybody's fighting for them both to survive. Even the other symbiotes are gonna fight for that.
Why?
Because Eddie and Venom are the main characters.
That makes sense.
And there's gonna be this big dramatic scene where Strickland gets approved to deploy
Fair.
the Six.
The Six, huh? What are they, like symbiote soldiers or something?
No, they're just like 6 military guys who die immediately.
Oh, okay.
But all the symbiotes are gonna be released to help fight the monster, and they're gonna like bond with scientists so they can fight.
Didn't we make a big deal in the first movie about it being super rare for a symbiote to find a human host? Hey, shut up. And also, there's this one scientist.
Nah, they could find a human host, they just couldn't stay in it for like a long period of time. Maybe the adrenaline or something was helpful. I'm gonna go with that.
Is named Teddy Payne, and she's gonna have this whole backstory with her brother, and they were both struck by lightning as kids. Okay. And he wanted to be a scientist, but he died, so she became a scientist, and she has like this big lightning scar on her. Right. And at the climax of the movie, when a symbiote bonds with her, there's gonna be some like lightning on her hand. Gotcha.
Yeah, I didn't even put that together, to be honest.
That's where that whole backstory leads up to. Okay. What does that add to this?
It's true. Like, it's a good little story, and it makes perfect sense, but it was completely lost on me when I watched this for the first time.
Now that I say it out loud, I don't know, but it's gonna be in there. Well, okay then. So then the big bad guy, who is incapable of moving, is gonna send several monsters, and these people had a hard time handling one. Oh man, it's gonna be tough to save the day now. Actually, it's gonna be super easy. Barely an inconvenience. Oh, really? Yeah, see, Venom kind of absorbs them all and then walks over to this thing of acid they had kind of out in the open and sacrifices himself. They just had big vats of acid nearby. Yeah, that's how they were destroying things in Area 51, with acid. Yes, that is convenient. Yeah, so now Venom is dead.
Yeah, it's funny because there was a logical reason for the acid to be there, but I don't think people would just like open when they were doing the acid burning at the start. I was looking at people, I was like, you're not wearing like some sort of ventilation mask there. You just breathe it in this desert wind acid air.
Ed and Eddie is sad, and we're gonna have a nice flashback montage set to the song Memories by Maroon 5. What? And so then we're done. What do you think? Oh, it sounds like a good time. I just feel like maybe we should leave it a bit more open-ended. Isn't this the last one that Tom Hardy's doing? Yeah, but I mean, if this movie does super well, we're gonna feel kinda silly if we don't leave an open door. Okay, well, we can have a...
What's going on with Null?
Kinda shows his face, and it's like, oh, he's still there. Love it. And maybe we show a cockroach that has some symbiote on it. Perfect. All right. Let's hope this one hits a franchise high.
Yeah, fair enough. Like I say, this is the kind of movie that I don't mind paying cinema prices to go out for a night with my partner and watch a movie like this and get some popcorn and, you know, just have a little bit of a movie night. But if somebody said to me, you know, give me a good superhero movie to watch, it would not be Venom 3. So what is the deal with Null? Now, what's the deal with Null? I mean, he's just sitting there back in his hell cage, but can he get out now? I can't fucking remember. It's crazy what the Sonyverse is trying desperately to accomplish, and my understanding of it is they have to release a Spider-Man franchise movie like once every certain number of years, otherwise the rights go back to Marvel, which is why they just keep pumping out these random ones like Morbius and Kraven and shit like that. But imagine the money that Sony is making off of Spider-Man. Whoever did that deal back in like 2000 is laughing right now because Sony got their fingers in the pie of Marvel so bad with the Spider-Man character. We literally just talked about like 7 movies that are based on the fact that Spider-Man exists, even though he's not in any of them. So I don't know what the hell's going on with this. And is it just me, or is Marvel starting to hit like DC levels of confusion in terms of what's going on? I guess you could just chalk everything up to multiverse, but we've now got apparently like not a separate universe, but like the Marvel TV shows on Disney Plus are going to be kind of, I guess, grouped together in their own little shared universe. And then I guess you would have the movies still be its own shared universe as well, even though they exist in continuity. It reminds me of the original Marvel Netflix series where the only thing you would ever hear about the MCU were these very vague references to the Battle of New York, and I think somebody referenced Hulk at one point, and that might have been it, I think. And that always kind of bugged me, because I was like, come on guys, like, you live in the world where this shit happened, and what, nobody is talking about it every second of their lives, like you probably would be in real life. And then they just kind of abandoned that anyway, and just made them, you know, completely separate worlds entirely. So Marvel's got some work to do, and with the X-Men, I guess, maybe not on the horizon, but, you know, we've seen Beast in the MCU. We've seen his big furry face. That's got to be around the corner, and obviously we got a lot of references to the X-Men in Deadpool and Wolverine, and it sounds like we're going to get a Channing Tatum Gambit movie as well, which I'm very much here for that. I was just blown away by Gambit being in Deadpool and Wolverine. It was one of my favorite parts of that movie. I love the character of Gambit. And I think Disney, as long as they tighten the screws, and maybe that's what this whole, we're going to have a different, TV universe compared to the movie universe. It's like setting the landscape for what they're going to do with the X-Men characters moving forward, because, I mean, there's got to be X-Men TV shows, surely. A Xavier Institute show would make sense. Oh my god, it just makes me wish that they had the X-Men right from the word go. Like, we would have a Patrick Stewart, Professor X TV series right now, I feel like, if they were able to just get the X-Men in the MCU right away. But I could talk about the X-Men coming into the MCU all day long. But Venom 3 was fun. I enjoyed it, and I understand if you hated it. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Go to patreon.com/FWCI if you want to support the channel further. As always, everyone, be well, stay safe, look after your friends, ta-ta, and farewell.